Hello. This video, I'm going to show a very interesting project or task that can be done using coreBOS workflow system, and that you may think that it couldn't be done. Okay. Our goal, as you can see here, is to create tickets from each product line of a sales order where product category is hardware. Okay. So let me try to explain that differently. The thing is that we want to detect when a sales order is created. That sales order can have its own conditions. Maybe you want it to be in a certain status or of a certain type, or I don't know, any condition. So the workflow system can already detect that. We can create workflows based on the creation of a record and put all the conditions on the fields that we need. So that's easy. The thing is that what we want to do now is that when that sales order is saved, kind of like loop through each of the product and service lines, the inventory lines on that sales order. And for each product line of a certain type in the product, we want to create a ticket. Okay, so we have to distinguish from all the set of inventory lines, the ones that are actually products. We have to filter out the services. We don't want to create tickets for those. And then from the product lines that we do have, we want to make sure that those products are in the hardware category. Okay, not just all of them. Okay, obviously, if we eliminate all the conditions, then you would create a ticket for all inventory lines. Okay, so our first kind of question would be to, let me write that down here. Okay, that moved over here. Okay, that would be this question here. That would be the first kind of thing that comes to my mind would be that how do we loop over those inventory lines? Okay, because as I said, detecting the creation of a sales order and conditions is easy, but how do we actually tell the workflow to go over those lines and detect which ones are the right ones? Well, this has a very easy solution, and it's thanks to the inventory details extension or module. This module is extremely important. It has given us a lot of very powerful things in the system. And I would recommend that you come over here to the coreBOS blog. Inventory, get out of the way. Inventory details. Internet is very slow today. Inventory details module explained here on the blog. Here I kind of explain all the different options that that this module is for, what it helps on, and all the possibilities that it gave us. Yeah, this is the one. I was just kind of thinking about if it was the right one. Okay, so this module actually creates a line. Let's go see the inventory details module. Actually creates a new coreBOS record for each line in a sales order, a quote, a purchase order, all the inventory modules. So now we can launch workflows on those creations. Okay, so we save the sales order, and if we have, I don't know, 10 lines, and of those 10 lines, 5 are products, we're going to get 10 new lines here, 10 new records in the inventory details module, one for each of those lines, and we'll be able to launch workflows on them and detect which ones are the products and which ones are the others. So looping over the inventory lines isn't actually going to be a for each where we loop over those lines or something. No, we're just going to create a workflow for the inventory details records. And there we're going to detect if we're coming from a sales order, if that sales order has the conditions that we need, and and then we're going to see, okay, is this line that we're being created, this inventory details record that we're creating, is it related to the product that is in the category hardware? Then we have to create a ticket. Okay, so that will be the second step. So let's start by creating first the workflow in the inventory details module, and then detecting first the first step that we're going to take. Okay, let me write that down here. The first step we're going to do here. Okay, this is, let's write here, this would be solved with the inventory details module, and here we're going to write down okay, create a workflow on inventory details to detect details and detect if related to sales order. Okay, that will be our next step. Create a workflow on inventory details and detect if it's related to a sales order. Okay, remember that I just said that when we create any inventory module, a purchase order, a quote, or we always get records in the inventory details module. So we need to detect when that record that's being saved is related to a sales order, and not create tickets for purchase orders and quotes and the like. Okay, so let's go over here, inventory details, and we're going to create a record here. We're going to create okay, that's nice. We're going to put one here, which is create tickets. That's going to be our ultimate goal. Okay, every time the record is saved, no, it should be the actual conditions should be only on the first save when it's created. We don't want to be, every time you edit the sales order, we don't want to have it creating tickets for us all the time. So which will be only this one. I'm going to use every time the record is saved because I'm going to be testing and I want to make it launch every time I save. But the actual condition would be only on the first save. Okay. Okay. So let's first see how we can detect what we're coming from. I'm going to create a new field here, okay, on the inventory details module. I'm going to create a new field, custom field here. Type text, and that's good. Related to workflow. Let's put the whole thing. Related to entity. Okay, and I'm going to put 100. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so now I have a text field, a custom text field on inventory details, and I'm going to fill that one in. I'm going to create an update fields task, and I'm going to put here update rel2. Okay, this has no conditions. We're going to do it always. We add a field here, which is my new field related to entity. And I'm going to fill this in with an expression that says concatenate I am related to and here we're going to use, there's an expression function here which is get entity type. This is what I'm looking for, and I want to know what I'm related to. Okay, this expression here says concatenate, okay, join this string I am related to with the result of executing the get entity type I'm the related to. Okay, get entity type is what is a function where you give it a related field, okay, like a field that is pointing to another module, and it will actually convert. It will tell you what it is. Okay, if it's pointing to a sales order, to a whatever. Okay, so if we save this, and come over here to the inventory details module, and here this record is related to an invoice. Okay, let me open this in another tab. Okay, as you can see here, the related to entity field is empty, and the related to field, which is the one I'm looking for, is related to an invoice. So if I edit and save this, I should get this field updated. Okay, as you can see, I am related to an invoice. Perfect. Okay, that worked as expected. Now, if we come over here and jump a few pages, and I have this one related to an invoice still. Let's jump a few more pages. This is an invoice, and this, okay. Now, there's 100 pages. Okay, let's do 50. Okay, sales order. This one is related to a sales order. So let's edit this one, save, and I'll get here related to a sales order. Okay, so now that means that this workflow function is capable of telling me what I'm related to. So maybe we could kind of use that, but there's an even easier way of doing this. Okay, the way is I'm going to add a condition here, and I'm going to go to the related to field. And this is the tick. This is the okay. This is the actual. Let me fix that a second, so we can get the text in English. Okay, let's reload this page. Okay, don't know why that's happening, but try to fix that. Okay, again, now I should get my conditions here in English. Okay, related to. Okay, this is the trick. Is not empty. Okay, no. Okay, I want to detect when this record is actually related to a sales order. Yeah, correct. Okay, so what I have to do is go down here. After the fields of the inventory details record, I have all the modules that are related here. Okay, I have the products and all its fields, services and all its fields, related to, and all the fields that are inside the related to, which is all the quotes, as you can see, the purchase orders, the sales orders, and below are the invoices. Okay, even have organizations and contacts. Okay, so if I come over here and pick any field in the sales order, for example, the subject, and I say that it must not be empty. Okay, this is the trick. This is the important part. Here I'm telling with this condition, I'm telling it, I want the inventory detail record to have the sales order subject not empty. So if that inventory detail record is related to an invoice, the sales order subject will be empty because it's not related to a sales order. If the inventory details record is related to a purchase order, the sales order subject will be empty because it's not related to a sales order. But when it's related to a sales order, the sales order subject will have a value, so it will not be empty. So with this condition, I am actually forcing this action to happen only on those inventory details that have sales that are related to a sales order. Okay, let's save that and give it a try. Okay, I'm going to come over here to inventory details. This is another inventory detail record. It's related to a sales order. So if I edit and save, I will get the action launched just like before. But if I come over here and move over to this inventory details, which is another line in the invoice, and I edit and save this one, it will stay empty. Okay, it did not launch the okay, so what was that for? Coming back to our to the low to the our goal. Okay, I want to create tickets for product lines, so I have to make sure that those inventory detail records are related to a product, not a service. So now that's easy. Okay, now that we know how to do this, I'll just add here a condition. In fact, I'm gonna do that. Okay, on this thing, on this workflow, where I'm gonna say, okay, I want the product name to not be empty. With this condition, all of a sudden, I am only executing this workflow for lines that are related to products. I just filtered out all the services. Okay. So that's how we detect the product lines. Now, I also want the product category to be hardware. So, okay, so we have to add this one in also. We add a new condition and we say, okay, product category is hardware. In fact, I think just with this one, we probably have enough, because obviously if we're related to a service, this will be false, this will be empty, so it will never be hardware. So probably I don't even need the is not empty on top. But anyway, that way this is going to work also. Okay, so with these two conditions, I am now launching this workflow for all inventory detail lines which are related to a product, and that product has the category hardware. I still have to filter out the sales order. Okay, so we also know how to do that because we just did that with the products above. So we end with the condition inside. So now I'm going to come over here to the sales order and make sure that the sales order is not empty. These are the conditions that we need. Those are the conditions that are on our goal. Okay, inventory detail lines that are related to a product, that product is in the category hardware and always inside a sales order. Create tickets from each product line. Okay, so that's it. That's basically, we have the conditions to launch our workflow. Now, what do we need to do now? We need to be able to create tickets from inventory detail lines. Inventory detail records. Really? Okay, so now, okay, this is another step. Okay, let's see how that works. I'm going to, yeah, let's, oh, I didn't save. That was nice. Okay, we need two new conditions. It was product category is hardware, and sales order, oh, come on. Sales order is not empty. Sales order is not empty. Okay, save. Okay, now let's just make sure that's working. I'm going to come in here, get rid of this condition here. We have the condition outside. Keep that way. I don't know why that's happening. I'll have to look at that. Okay. Okay. So now this will only fill in. Okay. So again, this is inventory details record. It's related to an invoice. So this one will not launch at all. It will leave the box empty, but it's not launching the workflow, the task, because it's not related to a sales order. So one of the three conditions does not fulfill. Let's get this one. This one is related to a sales order. But now, so it should fill, but we have to see the product. Okay, let's look at this product, open it in another tab, and it's related to software. So this should not launch either. Let's edit and save. Okay, that's good. Now we have to find one that is related to a hardware category. CRM applications, okay. Okay, probably finish up better the other way. Looking for the product first. Oh, okay, let's just change this one. Okay, now I forced that one. Okay, so this record is actually related to a sales order and a product which is of category hardware. Okay, so if I edit and save this one, perfect. Okay, so we're launching that. That's working correctly. Fine. Now what we need to do is to get here a task. The new task is create entity, and we want to create tickets. Okay. Uh, Problem is that we don't have tickets in the list. So we have to establish a relation. Okay, yes, just to save it, I guess. Oh, okay, no, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so now we need to establish that relation. We need to make a relation between the inventory details and the tickets, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to create tickets. They have to be related somehow. Actually, there has to be a inventory details related record on the tickets. So let's go to the tickets. And we're going to add a field here, which will be a relation field. And it will be, I'm going to call it sales order line, because the conditions that we're creating are actually sales orders and the like, but it is an inventory details relation. So, I mean, you could create a ticket related to a purchase order line if you manually select it, okay? In this case, it's going to be sales order related, but still, there's no condition that stops you from relating this new field to any inventory detail record, unless you program that in, of course. Okay, so now I have this relation field. Let's check that out. Make sure it's actually working. I'm gonna pick up this ticket and we'll edit. Could have edited it right there. Doesn't matter. Sales order line, new ticket, relation. We have our inventory detail lines. Perfect. If I select one, it is saved. If I go to this inventory details, I now have a new related list, which is filled in. Perfect. Okay. So now my inventory details and tickets are related in this system. So if I go back to the workflow, no, not this one. Sorry. If I go back and create a new task with the created entity again, now I should have tickets. That easy. Okay, so effectively, I'm going to create a title with the inventory details field. I'm going to use the inventory details number for the title. It's going to be assigned to, doesn't matter, whatever. The conditions here are whatever conditions you want, whatever you need. Okay, and you can even add fields here, make them, I don't know, whatever. The product, for example, we could relate the product with the product from the inventory detail line. That would be nice. Anyway, you can add here all the conditions you need. You can even do business maps also to get complex conditions in here if the workflow system is in complex enough to do what you need. which is rather rare. Anyway, as you can see here, basically I'm creating tickets now. So let's save this and let's create. Okay, that's it. That's the conditions. That's what we need to do. So in theory, if I did that correctly, we should be able to come over here to support tickets and see that we have right now 182 tickets. Okay, this number over here, 182 tickets. Now let's go to the sales orders. And let's create a new sales order. Inventory details, test. Opportunities, sales order, purchase order, quotes, carriers, organization name. This one, this would be interesting also to set. Yeah, that's probably very interesting. Let's come over here to the workflow and add here another field, which is the related to. Okay, this ticket will be related to the same, no, expression field, to the same organization that the inventory, that the sales order is related to. Okay, that would be this line here. Very interesting. Okay, sales order. This one, enable recurring. None of this is true. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't need this. I don't need. Okay. Oh, let's try this out. Waba was okay. This one, very nice. Thank you, Luke. This product, if I remember correctly, is the one I modified. So it is a product category that is actually going to work. I'm going to create here another service. This one shouldn't create anything. And let's create another product, which is, I don't know, sexy. I think we have one of those. Sexy leggings. Okay. Okay, let's see what those have. Before I save, because once I save, it's going to, no. Let me see. I want to make sure that that product, that second product, does not have hardware category, so that we can, this probably works. Yeah, perfect. So we can see hardware. Okay, lucky me. This one, K101, also hardware. Next one, CRM application, new HD 1080. Okay, this one will work. So let's change this one to 1080. Perfect. Okay, so now I have here one product line which is actually related to hardware, category hardware. So this should create a ticket, a service which should not create a ticket, another product which should not create a ticket. Okay, and I'm gonna just add this one also. Just see. Okay, this is also related to hardware, so I should get two new tickets. Product name. Okay. Something is wrong. Let me see if I can. Okay. Oh, okay. Maybe that one is. Okay. Let me see. I think I know what's going on. Okay, Waba's not active. Waba's not active, so I can't create. It won't let me save on this one. Okay. Okay. Let's search for another one. That means that we have to the search, filter the search, the autocomplete search. Okay. I wrote that down. I'll fix that. Here, let's get the hardware category, products category. Where are you? Category equals hardware. Hardware. Okay, protective case. Let's make sure this one is active. It is. Okay, let's go back over here and convert this one to protective case. Okay, now that is correct, and the other one should be correct too. Okay, let's hit that, save. Okay. Obviously, sales orders and inventory records usually take a while to save because you're already saving. In fact, we're saving this record, then we're saving one, two, three, four uh, lines of information into the database. Then we're saving four inventory detail records. And now in this case, we should be creating also two tickets. Still kind of taking a long time. What could I have done wrong there? Seems to have entered a loop. Okay, no, okay, it actually, I'm not sure. I think it gave an error. I think it blocked. Oh, no, it was actually working. I did get some error warnings here. Fix those. Okay, we have here the sales order seems to have been saved correctly. And here we have in support tickets 184, so it did create two new tickets. And effectively, as you can see here, they are related to the inventory lines. Let's open these two up. They're related to the inventory lines. They're related to the product, to the organization. And I could have filled in anything. Okay, so it worked. It took a while there. I don't know why it took so long. I'll have a look at that. But as you can see, it effectively did create this correctly. Okay, so I have now a new sales order. In the inventory details of this sales order, I have four lines. Okay, one for each product and service line that I have there. But also, I have on 4599 on this inventory details record, I have a support ticket related that was automatically created. Okay, really nice. Really nice. Very powerful and not that complicated. I mean, there's a lot of little things you have to do, and it has to be you have to know kind of what you're doing to get the things related. But as you can see, I mean, it's not exceptionally hard, and and it can be just done clicking around here. I mean, you don't have to program anything, and you don't have to get anything especially uh, created for this task. Well, I hope those little tricks help you make your core boss more productive. Thanks for watching.